Good morning, America. And breaking overnight, a tragic accident at the Ohio State Fair. At least one person killed, 7 others injured when this popular ride malfunctioned, breaking apart in midair, sending people flying. The governor ordering all rides shut down. We are live on the scene.
Outrage growing this morning over President Trump's ban on transgender people serving in the military after his promise to fight for the LGBT community. The military blindsided, his own top advisor surprised, fierce reaction on both sides of the aisle. As the White House leaves questions unanswered, what will happen to those already in uniform?
Suspicious death on the high seas, the FBI investigating after this woman was found dead on a cruise ship. Witnesses saying they heard her screaming for her life. Passengers forced to stay on board for hours of questioning.
And overnight, Justin Bieber caught on camera running over a photographer while leaving church.
If you could just give us a little space, okay?
The chaos unfolding as police arrive on the scene.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America. A lot of news to get to this Thursday morning. Of course, we're thinking of those killed and hurt in that terrible accident at the Ohio State Fair.
And such a scary moment for all the families there. And these are fairs that a lot of us have attended over the years. And there are so many of these fairs that are still going on across the country.
Yeah, this was the first day of the Ohio State Fair when that popular Fireball ride broke apart in midair. You see it right there. At least one person was killed, as Robin said, 7 others injured. This morning, all rides at the Ohio State Fair are shut down. ABC's Alex Perez is on the scene in Columbus with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, George. Authorities have been here through the night. Still a lot of unanswered questions. It was a beautiful day. Families were out when suddenly everything turned into a living nightmare.
Overnight, a horrifying crash at the Ohio State Fair on a ride called the Fireball. Listen as the swinging ride begins to break apart. At least 2 riders thrown at high speeds through the air. One found 50 feet from the ride. A full car of the ride coming off. This video, posted to social media, captured the terrifying incident. 7 people injured, 5 in critical condition, and an 18-year-old man killed. Bystanders and first responders rushing to aid the injured.
I need help. Somebody's up there on the ride.
Police and investigators quickly shutting the fair down.
We will begin an investigation on this to determine what the failure was, if any, and how this accident occurred.
The Ohio State Fair was scheduled to run until August 6th. Last year, it attracted nearly 1 million visitors. But now, Ohio's Governor John Kasich ordering all rides closed until the investigation is complete and additional safety inspections can be conducted.
The fair is about the best things in life, and with this accident, it becomes a terrible, terrible tragedy.
ABC station WSYX was with inspectors before the fair opened.
We will periodically do spot checks just to ensure all that stuff is in place.
Overnight in California, the Orange County Fair shutting down a ride similar to the Fireball as a precaution. This morning, investigators examining this terrifying video for answers about what caused this terrible tragedy.
We're really shocked because I think they do take really good care in trying to prevent this kind of thing.
And inspections records show the ride passed all inspections yesterday. The fair will be open today, but all rides will remain shut down until investigators can pinpoint what exactly went wrong here. Robin?
All right, Alex, thank you. And joining us now in an ABC News exclusive is Julian Bellinger, who was on the ground during the accident, caught that terrifying moment on camera. Julian, thank you very much for being with us. We're thinking about everybody who was impacted by what happened, that terrible accident yesterday. Tell us what you saw, what happened.
So on the ground, it was me and my friends. We were just recording each other on Snapchat, and we had deleted the video because we heard like commotion on the ride, and it was people on the ride like, slow it down, it's too fast, and all this. So people on the ground, like beside me and in front of me in line, because I was about to get on the ride, they all were like, whoa, 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 slow it down, and all that. So the people that were working it had pressed the emergency brake, and in the video, you see it go up, and then when it came back down, a piece had fell. So then that's when I have followed it up, and then when I just seen the people like fall out, I turned my head and I couldn't watch it.
Right, and we are not even showing all of that video as well, Julian. It is just, it's too much for people to see. And then for you to be there, you were in line waiting to get on that ride, and you heard people yelling for the operator to slow it down? You heard that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I heard I heard people in front of me in line, and then after the fact, I talked to them, and they were like, yeah, people on the ride just couldn't take it anymore because I guess they had sped it up.
What happened once you saw that accident? What did people do at that point?
People were like running away, crying. Yeah, it was. You just don't expect to see stuff like that, especially at the fair here.
No, not at all. That's the last thing that you expect to watch or to see. So how are you doing this morning, having witnessed something like that, Julian?
I'm doing fine. After it, I was a little shook up, but then I ended up calming down, talking to my parents and all that. So I was fine for the most part. I hope the families and all that are okay.
Yes, and we're thinking of those families. You're a fine young man. Thank you very much, Julian, and you take care. And again, our hearts and prayers to all those impacted by what happened.
Yep.
All right. Take care, Julian. Thank you. Yeah, even in that moment, he was thinking of the families that were impacted, but I can only imagine being, as we said, I'm sure people watching, we go to these things all the time.
Last thing you would expect to happen. Yeah. So sad. We're going to move on now to the backlash over President Trump's ban on transgender service in the U.S. military. Take a look at these images right here. Protests breaking out across the country after the president tweeted his decision to ban transgender individuals from serving in, quote, any capacity. The policy President Trump is reversing was just announced last year by President Obama's administration, and now the future of those currently serving our country is in question. This was an abrupt move by President Trump. He promised during the campaign that he would be stronger on LGBT rights than Hillary Clinton. Our chief White House correspondent John Carl is here with what we know now. And John, this decision caught Congress and many in the Trump administration by surprise.
George, that is exactly right. Even the president's top advisors were caught by surprise by this reversal in policy. And now neither the Pentagon nor the White House is providing any details about how the new policy will be implemented.
Since announcing his new policy on Twitter, President Trump hasn't said a word about his decision to ban transgender people from serving in the military.
How do you decide your policy on transgender people in the military?
Ignoring a question on why he did it. The Pentagon referred all questions to the White House. So we asked the president's press secretary what happens now.
The president was pretty clear that he will not accept or allow a transgender individual to serve in any capacity. So does that mean that those that are now in theater, that are now deployed to Afghanistan, for example, will have to be immediately sent home and
Again,
discharged?
the implementation policy is going to be something that the White House and the Department of Defense have to work together to lawfully determine.
A study commissioned last year by the Pentagon estimated there are about 2,500 transgender service members on active duty, another 1,500 in the reserves. One of those on active duty, Air Force Staff Sergeant Logan Ireland, profiled in a New York Times documentary while he was serving in Afghanistan.
There's not a lot of people that know that I'm transgender.
Responding to the president, Staff Sergeant Ireland said, "I would like to see them try to kick me out of my military. You are not going to deny me my right to serve my country when I am fully qualified and able and willing to give my life." With so many service members potentially affected, the president's new policy and how it was announced was criticized by Democrats and Republicans.
I don't know why he decided what he did, but I think the right way to do this is have a hearing so you can hear from both sides. I want a strong, vibrant military, but I want to be fair, and the best way to do this is have a hearing, not a tweet.
President Trump's most prominent transgender supporter, Caitlyn Jenner, weighed in on Twitter, retweeting the president's own words from the campaign. "Thank you to the LGBT community. I will fight for you while Hillary brings in more people that will threaten your freedoms and beliefs." Jenner is now asking, what happened to your promise to fight for them?
And despite the president tweeting about the, quote, tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail, That study that was commissioned last year by the Pentagon found, quote, there would be little or no impact on unit cohesion, operational effectiveness, or readiness. And as for the medical costs, the study estimated them to be at less than 0.1% of what the military spends on health care. Robin?
That's all. Okay, stand by, John. George is going to talk to you in just a moment, but first we're going to bring in our Chief Global Affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz, on more on the military's reaction to the decision. It seems like even the Pentagon was blindsided by this, Martha.
They sure were, Robin. The Secretary of Defense, Jim Mattis, was told the day before, but it came as a surprise, and he is not one who would advocate changing a Pentagon policy by tweet. Other senior officers had no idea, and the Pentagon was in the midst of a high-level review of the policy on specific challenges, but the review was not really designed to look at an outright ban on transgender people serving in the military. The tweet's also gotten strong reaction from the organization representing Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, the IAVA, calling it backward, harmful, and contrary to American values, adding it is also bad for national security. Robin.
And a question that can't be answered right now, what does this mean for transgender people that are currently serving in the military?
You know, this means that right now around the world, transgender service members who volunteered to serve this country have no idea whether they will be thrown out of the military, and neither do their commanders. And that's a really important point as well. President Trump talked about this as a readiness issue without citing any specific evidence. But what could be a readiness issue is if you kick thousands out of the military, how do you rapidly fill those positions,
Good
Robin?
point there. All right, Martha.
A lot of questions to answer. We want to go to John Carl right now, bring him back in, because the president's new communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, making some news overnight as well. He put out this tweet in the middle of the evening saying that in light of the leak of my financial disclosure info, which is a felony, I'll be contacting the FBI and the Justice Department. And then he added that tag for the White House Chief of Staff, Reince Priebus. Now, this raised a lot of questions, in part because this article he's talking about, it's not a crime to go after his financial disclosure forms. They're a matter of public record.
Well, that is true, George. It also raised the questions why he was tagging the Chief of Staff. Was he accusing the Chief of Staff of being behind those leaks? When that was reported by another news organization, Scaramucci tweeted wrong. The tweet was public notice to leakers that all senior administration officials are helping to end illegal leaks. But that financial disclosure form is a public document. It is something that can be requested by anybody. And in fact, the financial disclosure forms of other senior administration officials have been all over the press, shortly after they were announced.
Yeah, there seems to be a real leak obsession in the White House, starting with the president, and he's been pressuring his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, who he's also been criticizing, to do more about leaks.
That's right. And let's face it, there have been a problem with leaks of classified information in this White House. Conversations the president has had in the Oval Office with world leaders, transcripts being released. But now the Attorney General's spokesperson is saying that they will, that they take this seriously, and we expect that they're going to announce a renewed effort anyway to combat leaks in the coming days.
Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to turn now to a new travel alert from the State Department for Americans in Mexico about tainted alcohol, following those recent reports from some tourists. And ABC's Matt Gutman is in Los Angeles with more. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. It has happened to young people and old people, male and female. There should be no mistake about what this tainted alcohol is. Basically a poison. And now for the first time, the State Department is putting it on its radar and its country-specific information for Mexico. The State Department now cautioning U.S. citizens traveling to Mexico about allegations that consumption of tainted or substandard alcohol has resulted in illness or blacking out. The State Department telling ABC News it's aware of the media reports, several families coming forward sharing horror stories of suddenly blacking out after just a few drinks during visits to luxury resorts in Mexico.
We weren't drunk, we were out. Completely different.
20-year-old Abby Connor died after she and her brother Austin were found face down in a waist-deep pool at a resort in Mexico earlier this year. Her family now questioning whether tainted alcohol could have been the cause. Speaking with our Gio Benitez.
Is it at all possible that you just drank too much?
I've thought about it, and I mean, it is a possibility, but how, if we're in a group of people, do two people at the same exact time just pass out in the pool, and no one sees it.
The Iberostar Resort denying serving tainted alcohol, and Mexican health officials tell ABC News they have no records of any alcohol seized from Iberostar resorts. But over the last 7 years, Mexican officials say they have seized 1.4 million gallons of tainted alcohol from businesses including resorts, clubs, bars, warehouses, and manufacturers. The problem, experts tell us, it's nearly impossible to know if alcohol is tainted.
You're not going to know the difference. They have the same appearance, the same smell, and they will give you the same euphoric effect. There's not a homemade kit that you can take to a bar and test it.
And the problem, of course, is that there's not that much you can do to protect yourself, he says, except to drink moderately. And if you begin to feel nausea or dizziness, you have to seek medical aid right away. Now, the Connor family sent us a statement saying it was overcome by the State Department alert, which strengthens our resolve to pursue those responsible for Abby's death and Austin's injuries. Michael.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. And it's a shame they had to go through that tragedy for this to come out now, and hopefully other people will learn and it will help some people along the way.
So.
Yeah, and Amy, you were here. You had the morning's other top stories, starting with another travel headline.
That's correct. The TSA now implementing a new electronics policy at airports. It forces passengers to remove all electronic devices larger than a cell phone from their carry-on bags. That means tablets and other devices must now go in their own bin for inspection. The TSA says the new rule should not increase security lines. Authorities are investigating the cause of a small plane crash on a busy highway. It happened in Utah. Look at that. 4 people on board were killed, unfortunately. They were traveling to Idaho on vacation. A witness reports the engine made a loud noise before the crash. No one on the ground was injured. And we now have new details about Hillary Clinton's tell-all book that is due out this fall. The title is What Happened? Clinton says she is letting her guard down, revealing what she was thinking and feeling during the heat of the campaign and how she's coped with the loss and what she calls the double standard confronting women in politics. The memoir will be released on September 12th. And this is my favorite story of the day. A bizarre case of life imitating art. Remember, who could forget Larry David's impression of Bernie Sanders on SNL? It was so dead on. Well, you know, the two men seemed like they could be brothers. It turns out they are related. On an upcoming episode of the PBS show Finding Your Roots, David learns that he and Sanders are distant cousins. So it was in his DNA. It's so great. I can't wait to see that episode.
If you go back far enough, we're all cousins.
Yeah.
Don't take that out of my sales. Come on. It's a great story, George.
Wonderful. Let's go back to Ginger. You got some flooding in the south.
We do, just south of Birmingham, Alabama, Vestavia Hills. I actually used to go to the gym here when I had an internship here. So to see these images of the water rushing down, you see the cars there covered in all of that water rushing under bridges. A lot of cars taken out. That was 3 to 5 inches of rain falling very quickly. We could see something like this happen, especially tomorrow afternoon through evening in the mid-Atlantic in some places. This low is going to come through, and it may sit off the coast just long enough to drop 3 to 5 inches in some places. Let's get to the stormy cities now, brought to you by Walmart.
Expect an increase in humidity today. It's going to feel muggy to humid, and those temperatures will push from the 80s into the upper 80s. So we'll get close to 90 degrees. It'll feel more like 95 or so. Some isolated showers or storms for the afternoon. Better chance coming our way on Friday for the afternoon. Right through the overnight, could get 1 to 2 inches of rain, flooding a big risk, which is why again we're on weather alert for Friday. Another inch possible on Saturday. Cool weekend, feeling like May, 76 to 80.
Coming up, that suspicious death on a cruise. Witnesses saying they heard a woman scream. Passengers forced to stay on board for hours as the FBI investigates.
And that crash caught on camera with Justin Bieber behind the wheel. The chaos after he hit a photographer.
All right, you got your shot. Let's get some chemistry, okay?
So your new prescription does have a few side effects.
Oh, like what?
You're gonna have dizziness, nausea, and sweaty eyelids, and inside.